Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Tony, and welcome to my channel, Homeowner Repair. And in this episode, I'm going to show you how to make one of those decorative ladders that you can put in your living room, or maybe your dining room, and you can put some stuff on. My wife's been looking at these things, and they're like $65. It's like sometimes like $100. It's pretty expensive. So I hopped in the Jeep, went down Lowe's, and I picked up some wood. And I needed 3 pieces of wood to do this, and I'm into it for like $6.75. So I'm going to show you how to make this thing, but before we get going on that, remember, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, leave a comment, we'll reply back to you, and I'll show you what you need to put this together and make it happen. Okay, so what you're going to need are 3 2x2x8 lengths of wood, and I picked these up today. The 3 of those were together, combined to like $6.75 that I had paid for them. And if you have some tools on hand, it's going to help. I've got a cordless drill that I'm going to use to drive in my screws. I've got a saw right there that I can use to make the cuts. You're going to need a tape measure. You're going to need some sandpaper. And if you happen to have like a sander, it's going to help, because when you put this all together, you need to kind of sand it down real quick before you stain it. And you're going to need like 10 screws, 10 2-inch screws. I had some from previous projects in my toolbox, so I'm going to use these, see how they look. I might have to paint like the heads on in black or something like that, but I'll figure that out when I get to it. So if you have some like leftover screws and stain and some tools laying around from previous projects, you can get out of this project pretty inexpensively. So I'm going to show you what to do. We had to measure, we need to make cuts, and let's put this all together, and I'll show you how to do it. So the first thing you're going to do is get some money, get in your truck, and go to the boss. You don't have to do any more of these projects. Alright, so take your 2 side rails of the ladder. You're going to measure up 5 feet, and we're going to make our cut at 5 feet, so we'll have a couple extra pieces at the end. So go up. Grab your pencil. Make a mark there. And mark there as well. So I have my 2 marks to cut on, one on each side. So let's go put this on the saw and we'll cut these. Alright, so if you're using a saw like this, remember to wear your safety glasses. Line up your mark. Now you have one side cut. And let's get the other rail. Okay, so I put my 2 side rails off to the side. So now what you're going to do is cut the actual steps in between the ladder that go up. And grab the 2 pieces that you just cut off and the extra 3rd piece that you haven't cut yet. And you're going to cut 5 of these 16 inches. And you'll have 5 steps of the ladder going up. So let's do that now. So I'm going to start with these small leftover pieces first. That one's 16, and I'll measure this one out. 16 inches on that one. Let's cut these 2. Got my first one cut, let's cut the second one. It's 2, a couple more to go. So if you've cut the 2 and you know that they're 16 inches, I measured them, you can kind of cheat a little bit. And grab one, just make your mark, it'll make it go a little bit faster for you. Getting there. Four, now we just have one left. Go on the other end of this one. One side of this seems to be a little bit twisted, but you see one more. And now you have your 5 steps. Okay, so what you want to do now is at the top and the bottom of the ladder, you want to measure down 5 inches for the first and the last step. One there. Mark the top, then come around to the bottom, do the same down at the bottom. Then you're going to grab 2 steps and tie one into the top, tie one into the bottom. They'll help to hold it together. So just make sure you have, your ladder set up on a flat surface that's even. I know the floor here is, and that there's no dirt or anything. The floor looks like it's a little dirty, but it's actually pretty clean. I cleaned it off the other day. So now you're just going to zap in these 2 rungs. So make sure you're all lined up. There's one. Grab the other one. Grab your other screw. Make sure you want to be right in the middle of the board on the side rail. There you go. Okay, now the top is all set. Let's go to the bottom. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to hold these together. Okay. And let's get the other side. Okay, it's all set. Okay, so now that I have the top and the bottom in, we've got to space out the other steps in the middle. So let's measure that and we'll see where we're at. All right, so here's what it can get a little tricky. You've got to center the middle ladder step. So right here I have 50 inches from the top of that step to the bottom of that step. So we're going to put the middle one right on 25. So I'm going to mark that out so we know that is centered. So then I'm going to go around the other side and do the same thing. And now we can center that step, and we're going to zip it into place with 2 more screws. Right? Okay. Hey, there's the middle one. So now that we have the middle one in place, we have to measure again and figure out where to put the other two so that they're centered. Okay, so what I did for the last two steps to get them centered, for that one and the one over there, is I measured from here, the bottom of this step, to the top of the last one that we're putting in. And I came up with 10 3/4, and I measured from here to the top of this step, and I came up with 10 3/4. So I know it's centered. So you can do it that way. Just double check your measurements, and then put the last two steps in place. Okay, so once you have the ladder done, take the sandpaper or your sander and go all around the ladder and lightly sand it all out, and then you can stain it. Okay, so I went through the whole ladder and I sanded it all down, so now that it's all nice and smooth, I'm going to stain it. So if you end up staining the ladder, make sure that you have like a tarp or something out under it, because it makes a mess. So start putting a little bit of stain on this, and I'm going to go with like a gray stain, and it kind of gives you, it's like a weathered gray. So I'm only going to leave it on for a minute and then like wipe it off so it doesn't get too dark on me. So you can kind of go through the whole thing here. Right. So I finished staining the ladder that we built, and I kind of just propped it against the wall in here so you guys could see what it looked like instead of that crappy old garage that I'm in the middle of redoing. But here's what it looks like. I stained it, and I kind of used like that weathered gray stain, and it came out pretty good. Like I stained it, and then I wiped it off kind of almost immediately. The stain didn't sit too long because I kind of wanted it to be aged a little bit and beat up looking a little. But I think it came out pretty good, and I saved a ton of money. The stain I bought, I think it was like $8, and like I said, the screws I had, I was into this for the wood, which was $6.75. So it's way less expensive if you can build one just to slap it together. So I hope you guys liked the video. I'd like to throw something up here once in a while that's a little bit different, and to help you guys save some money. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll reply back to you, and give the video a thumbs up if you like it. If you like the video, it helps out the channel and everything else. So thanks for watching, and have a good day.